Medurstand, Understanding Medicine.
I'm Professor Aziz Rehman from Medurstand-Understanding Medicine. This is the third of the three series lecture on Finerenone, a novel and game-changing non-steroidal mineralocorticoid receptor antagonist. And in first two sections, I have covered the basics and the studies and the approval by various authorities. But since this is not a live session, so I thought I might have asked some question myself and then answer them. So I think this is like a revision, and some parts which were not covered in the main portion, the first and second, they will be covered here. So frequently asked questions and their answers. This is the third part. First question. What is the primary difference between Finerenone and other mineralocorticoid receptor antagonists like spironolactone or eplerenone? This one is Finerenone is non-steroidal. Its structure is different, though it has got mineralocorticoid receptor antagonist activity, but structurally it is not steroid, unlike the conventional one, and because of their steroidal structure, they were responsible for some side effects. Number two question, what is the main edge of Finerenone over other MRAs? In my opinion, the main edge is its anti-inflammatory and anti-fibrotic effects. Others are also antagonists of MRA, mineralocorticoid receptors, but this one has got unique anti-inflammatory and anti-fibrotic effect, and that is why it actually slows down the progression of kidney disease to the next level. Is Finerenone FDA EMA DRAP approved for diabetic CKD 2 to 4, stage 2 to 4? Yes, but one condition, it has to be used on the top of standard of care, which is RAS blocker in fully tolerated, of course within the recommended range, the fully tolerated dose of RAS. Those who are hypertensive, they might tolerate higher dose, but those who do not have hypertension, they might not tolerate the full dose, but whatever dose they tolerate, these patients have to be on RAS blockers, and preferably these patients should be on SGLT2 inhibitors also, and if unless there is a contraindication. So on the top of these two drugs, this Finerenone can be added. Question number 4, is Finerenone recommended as fourth agent in resistant hypertension? And if you remember the algorithm of hypertension, those patients who do not respond to adequate doses of 3 drugs, there you could add a fourth agent, and fourth agent could be any agent which is not in the used initially in the first 3 stages, but it is most recommended fourth agent is actually MRA. So Finerenone here is weaker than spironolactone, because spironolactone has got much more potent blood pressure lowering effect in this situation. So if you're using MRA for resistant hypertension, stage 4, then you use the conventional spironolactone. Although Finerenone also has good blood pressure lowering effect in its maximum dose, but it is less than spironolactone. The fifth question, is Finerenone indicated as anti-hypertensive drug in primary aldosteronism? Primary aldosteronism is a condition where there may be a small tumor in the adrenal cortex which is producing too much aldosterone, and so it would make a sense that if you use Finerenone, it would help. But actually, in this situation also, spironolactone is more potent and is drug of choice. Question number 6. Can Finerenone cause hyperkalemia? The answer is yes, because actually we are dealing with patients who are already prone to have hyperkalemia, background kidney disease with compromised GFR, and they're already on RAS blockers, so they are already at the verge of developing hyperkalemia. Finerenone being a mineralocorticoid receptor antagonist, would actually retain potassium and it could cause hyperkalemia. But the chances are much less than other MRAs. Still, you need to keep an eye, especially in patients with cardiac conditions. Next question. Can finerenone cause gynecomastia? This gynecomastia is caused by conventional MRAs because of its off-target effects, like effects on the androgen receptors. What about finerenone? Yes, it can also cause, but it has got much less chances. And once you stop it, this gynecomastia should be reversible, and that would be true for conventional MRAs also, but then you have to stop it. So if you use finerenone, the chances of gynecomastia in men and other sex hormone related complication like erectile dysfunction, loss of libido, and menstrual abnormalities in women, that should be less with finerenone. Question number 8. Is hyperkalemia, that is more than 5, a contraindication for the use of finerenone? The answer is yes. And that is true for all MRAs because potassium hyperkalemia could be dangerous. We will do something to bring down the potassium, and there are several things which can be done, like restricting potassium in diet and giving drugs which promote potassium loss. So by bringing down the potassium, and then we can reconsider using if we have been able to brought it down below 5. Question number 9. Is finerenone approved for non-diabetic chronic kidney disease? Not yet, but off-label use is possible. Now, why do I say so? Because the trial is only about type 2 diabetes. So we can only go by evidence. Only type 2 diabetes patient, it is approved. But since in other kidney diseases, there is also inflammation and fibrosis, so I think using your logic and rationale, I believe off-label use is possible, especially when we do not have too many other options for these patients. Question number 10. Is finerenone approved for heart failure? Now, in the studies I've shown it reduces hospitalization for heart failure, it reduces cardiac event, but is it approved? No, not yet. It is not yet approved. Fine Arts heart failure study on patients with heart failure with medium range ejection fraction has shown promising results. Probably it will be approved after the procedure is completed. There is to be procedure, application, and then decision. So I think till then, if you want to use, it should be called off-label use. Question number 11. Can finerenone be considered first-line therapy for diabetic kidney disease? If the results are so promising, can we consider as a first-line therapy? No. All guidelines, they say these patients must be on RAS blocker and SGLT2 inhibitors. Only then you consider this finerenone. The only exception would be if there is somebody who has some contraindication for RAS blockers or SGLT2 inhibitors, they couldn't tolerate at all, then you could probably use finerenone straight away. Question number 12. Is finerenone indicated in all patients with type 2 diabetes and with stage 2 to 4 in diabetes? The answer is yes. I think the results are so good that it would be, I would consider it as a negligence if you do not use this finerenone in individual with type 2 diabetes with kidney disease stage 2 to 4, because it has been shown it would reduce progression of disease. On the top of fully optimized glycemic management, SGLT2 inhibitors, unless contraindicated, and fully tolerated dose of angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors or angiotensin receptor blockers, and the GFR must be above 25. And it is recommended by all major societies and approved by all major regulatory bodies. So I think nothing should stop you from recommending this drug. With that, I'd like to thank you again. And if you want to join my channel, scan this QR code or just write Medurstand anywhere on the internet or YouTube app, you will be right on the channel. I am here to welcome you. Thank you.